Make the silly people primate proto societies crumble, making their little world crumble even more, is if I'm putting these land mammal psychology videos to show. And by the way, I've just been 2 months with this cat, okay? And so the videos, I don't always date them, but you could ask, or there's other ways to tell. I'm going to try to date more in the future, but like this, today's the 3rd of May, so and less than 2 weeks ago, so a little bit more than a week ago, was the 2-month anniversary I had him. And I haven't posted the videos yet of the first day I had him to show what he was like and how I barely got interactions out of him, or all the places he was hiding. And to now be like this, right? And it's not about training or domestication, it's about friendship. And it's about fairness, accountability, consequences, commitments, agreements, do's and don'ts, and respect, Now, I will start sometimes call my cat a flurkin. And let's say Disney or Marvel say, we have a claim, we own, the character. I'm going to say, you own my cat? Well, no, but your cat's not a flurkin. Stop saying he's a flurkin. I'm going to say, how do you know for sure he's not a flurkin? Would you like to meet him in person and assess him? Of course, my cat will already have at that point so many more thinking tools than these executives. And then they might say, well, no, they don't exist. Wait, you're arguing with me about something that doesn't exist? You know I don't monetize my channel, and you can't take the money that I didn't make of me making jokes about my cat being a flurkin when I also know it's not real. Like, this is how sick the monetary paradigm makes people. Like, they don't realize how developmentally disabled they are interacting with an Homo sapien. So if they did this, they would now give a voice to a real hero, a human hero, an Homo sapien. And then I'd post these things, right, to show this is the people primates, this is you, the Homo communia, the 99.99% of you, and this is what an Homo sapien operating system will respond to you in such a manner doing, right? So I wanted to say as well that I'm still reading The Injustice from DC, and so many of the characters say Superman is the best of us, and how? Because Nietzsche's idea of Uberman, or the Superman, is not superior man. It has nothing to do with race. It has something to do with humanism a lot more, which means to better ourselves, right? To take responsibility for our actions and solve our own problems, right? And evolve, be better men and women that we could be. And then the Superman is that one that evolves much more than the norm. But this guy didn't evolve much more than the norm, not just in the injustice, but every other storyline, pretty much, because he's limited by the writers of his character, Superman, Clark Kent, right? And they're not more evolved than the norm. So it's sad because you still see this flawed psychology in the other heroes saying he's the best of us. Well, I would say Batman is a lot better than any of them in a lot of ways, especially in the storyline that leads to him marrying a Catwoman, because he really undergoes quite a transformation in that one. But Superman is just a guy with powers who had decent parents, and when his parents go away, and in the storyline, they're not even dead. They're like disagreeing with him, and they're still heroes who can't assess that they're not heroes, and other heroes are not heroes, and that's because the writers can't tell the difference between heroes and villains. Now, the Superman is not something that you're born being, or that you end up having these powers on another planet, or having decent parents for a short time making you a decent person, but then, life events happen and then you take a bad turn. That's not what makes a Superman. A Superman is growth, maturation process, personal development, professional development, transparently done, is a variety of human thinking tools and a good balance of all types of intelligence that you become a real Homo sapien. And of course, during the Anthropocene, Folks, the Anthropocene is not caused by one or two people in history. It's caused by the majority for hundreds and thousands of years of failed people primate species. So, of course, you wouldn't recognize a hero if you tripped over one. Or you would hate him. Or you would think he's a villain. Or you would think he's insane or something's wrong with him. Because we're in the Anthropocene. We're at the worst time of who you are as a species. So, of course, any real heroes would seem like they're from another planet, and they wouldn't be aliens, and they wouldn't have powers. They would just think and behave so differently than you, the norm. Because the norm is not well, and because the norm justifies the norm, everything that deviates a lot from the norm, and by the way, villainy doesn't deviate from the norm. Being a true hero, a true Superman, varies from the norm, and you will keep crucifying such real people in life.